Good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing? We have an amazing turnout, Jeff. So good to see you all here. How's everyone doing today? I'm going to get my chat up just to make sure I can see all you guys. Awesome. Good to see everyone. Thank you all for coming out to our complimentary showcase for Mastering the Charts. So excited you guys are here. We have a lot in store for you guys today. It's going to go by very quickly. We've made this session just, very interactive and engaging. So we want to see you all participating and engaging, ask a lot of questions. This is for you guys and to showcase what we have coming up next weekend. It's going to be Mastering the Charts, an amazing 3-day event that we're going to be doing from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of you guys know it as Training the Eyes formerly. Jeff is going to be doing it for OTA, but we've redone it, reinvented it, made it so much just more dynamic with a lot more examples, a lot more walkthroughs. So really excited to be presenting this for you guys. Again, that's next weekend. So if you haven't signed up yet, making it very easy for you guys. You can see we have a barcode in the top left corner if you want to scan that, but just really looking forward to this and, just giving you so much amazing content. So good to see you all here. Let's jump right into it. So a couple disclosures first. The information contained within this presentation should not be construed as a recommendation or an offer to buy or sell any security or financial instrument solely for, educational purposes only. What we're presenting to you guys is key information to showcase the price charts in a whole new light. So if you have, struggles trading or reading the price charts, what we're going to be showcasing you is very specific, very rule-based, and again, going to be putting the dots super close together for you guys. So very excited about what we're going to be sharing with you. Good to see you all here. All right, so again, thank you for joining us for a complimentary showcase. The purpose is to enlighten you to a whole new way of trading and looking at the price charts. So forget everything that you think you know about the price charts. We're going to be showing you, again, a very specific, objective way to look at the price charts, taking the emotions out of it and really just looking at the price patterns and the pictures and training our eyes to see them. So we're going to be going through this process of looking at structures. And then once we find structures on the price charts, we're going to zoom in to locate specific areas. Then zooming in a little bit more, we're going to be looking for the leg base group of candles, very specific group of candles where we often see price change direction. So how many of you guys here are familiar with leg base already? So I know a lot of you guys, I've seen a lot of your names already, so I'm sure a lot of you already know about leg base a little bit. Sounds like a lot of you. Look, pretty much everyone. That's going to be awesome. So you guys already have, some knowledge of this, which is great. But we're going to be showing you so many more nuggets that are going to be in Mastering the Charts to really just enhance the way you view the price charts. Awesome, everyone. So again, starting off big picture, we're going to be looking at structures. So these are what some people refer to as the W and M patterns. This is where price either makes a higher high, a higher low, lower high, lower low. What's amazing about structures is that we can see these on multiple time frames. One of the key things that I want you guys to understand is that time does not matter when it comes to what we're showing you. We can see these price patterns on higher time frames, lower time frames. We don't choose specific time frames. We want to be flexible with what we're looking at. So all of this we're going to see on multiple time frames and see all the fractals that come into play. So starting off, taking a look at structures, then we're going to be doing a deeper dive into areas. Based on what the structures look like in the high and low points, that's where we zoom in to find these areas. Some of you guys may know them as wick over wicks. We also see within these wick over wicks specific price patterns as well that expose more information. Then zooming in a little bit more, we're looking for the leg base group of candles. So very specific, but we do want to be flexible with adjusting time frame up or down to be able to visualize these pictures. There will be recordings, Herman, after the session. All right, so what's new with Mastering the Charts? Again, a lot of you guys from OTA probably know this is Training the Eyes, but we're adding a lot more great content based on, not only your feedback, but just different things that you wanted more clarification on. So this is really built around you and helping you guys see the price charts more clearly. So what's new? We're going to train your eyes to visualize the 3 touches of support and resistance. This is going to be key to seeing where price often changes direction. When we see this, we can see where price has those order imbalances. This one also by popular demand, a lot of the students that I tutor and that are in the classes with Jeff and I have been requesting this. This is going to be the areas on the price charts where price often has big moves. So I don't know about you guys, but I like having those trades where we have nice long running trades to the upside, long running trades to the downside. So being able to visualize when this happens is going to be key to staying in trades longer. A lot of the feedback that I get as well from, new students coming in is that they don't know when to get in or when to stay in trades longer. So dead space is going to help us with getting those big moves, knowing how to add into those positions and staying in our trade setups a little bit longer. Then we're going to be visualizing pivot points versus buy and sell territories. So a key distinction with the picture on the price chart between what's a pivot and what's actually a territory or the leg base. So we're going to go into more detail on that in Mastering the Charts. But if you have, concerns or just challenges with identifying pivots versus your buy and sell territories, we're going to be doing a full deeper dive in Mastering the Charts. Also, one that I'm so excited about that we're adding is visualizing successful versus unsuccessful trades. Because a lot of times, I know traders make unsuccessful trades, which is common and it happens, but we need to be able to understand what characteristics made that trade unsuccessful. So there's going to be certain traits and attributes that we see with those trades that we don't see with the successful trades. So we need to know what to look for, but also what information may or may not have been present with the unsuccessful trades. Yeah, Sophia, so white space, you may know it as a different terminology. Carrie says use supply and use demand, exactly. So we're going to be tying in all of that to see those areas where price often just has these strong moves through them. So successful versus unsuccessful, and then also including more step-by-step walkthroughs to put the pieces together. I feel like this helps students a lot with just connecting the dots if we have it, in a good format, step 1, step 2, step 3. So we're not looking all over the place. We have a very objective and again, rule-based methodology of finding our high probability buy and sell opportunities. So again, we're going to train your eyes to visualize the 3 touches of support and resistance. We can see here, we have 1, 2, 3 touches. And this is key when you look right here. Why did price change direction here and have this strong move up? So we see price had a move up and the 3 touches were present. So we're going to be teaching you in Mastering the Charts how to identify the 3 touches, understanding how to visualize that to take advantage of these buy and sell opportunities. Not only does it apply to the long trade setups, but short trade setups as well. We can see here another example where you have 1, 2, 3 touches that was present. And so why did price have a strong move down from here? What we're going to be showing you, it's all about looking left on the price charts to see what information is present. Yeah, Sean, so do you use these techniques during the live trading sessions? Absolutely. So great point there. What we're showcasing with you guys is exactly what we do in the live trading room. Nothing different. We're being fully transparent with you guys as far as where we're looking for our buy and sell opportunities. And you'll see this is what Jeff and I implement in our live trading sessions. So very transparent. We want to share this with you guys so we can all be on the same page. Also amazing when our students can replicate our buy and sell and trade opportunities too. That's when we know, we've done our job pretty well. So the 3 touches, we're going to train your eyes to visualize the dead space. As you guys mentioned, some people refer to it as the white space, or it may have different terminology, but it's going to, again, be the areas on the price charts where price has these big moves. So price having a strong move to the downside, instead of trying to pick bottoms as price is moving down, what's so important, and Jeff is going to be going into a lot more detail on this, is that we need to keep looking left to see what information is present. If we can identify it as the dead space, we can stay in these trades a little bit longer. These are the trades, I like to stay in the long running moves where we go from all the way up here and have these strong moves down, all about looking left and seeing what that picture looks like on the price charts. Also visualizing pivot points versus buy and sell territories. So another very critical piece of information to understand the difference. This is something I think some students get confused with, is that they mistake a pivot point for a buy opportunity or a sell opportunity. But there's very specific characteristics that we want to understand before taking a trade, and whether it's a pivot point or a buy territory. So again, looking left to see what information is present is going to be key in understanding and identifying the difference. And then lastly, we're going to train your eyes to visualize successful versus unsuccessful trades. As I mentioned, this is another one of my favorites that we've incorporated, because we of course want to know what a successful trade looks like. But how many people would have seen this chart here on the right and tried to pick a bottom over here? When we understand what information was or wasn't present here, we can, take a step back and say, maybe this isn't the right trade for me. Based on the information and the pictures that we're showcasing with you guys, we're going to start looking for more successful trades, higher probability trade opportunities, and the unsuccessful ones will understand why those were unsuccessful. All right, so time to get to know you guys. We have so many people in the room, so really excited about that. We want to get a feel for the group, understand a little bit about you. So question 1, what asset classes do you guys trade? Type it in the chat. Yeah, exactly, Christy. I think we all want to pick the area that a long run will go from, totally. So that's where we're going to be teaching you guys how to find those turning points in the markets. Oh, good mix. I see futures, a lot of futures, mostly futures. I think I'm seeing some Forex, some stocks, a little bit of options. Good mix. Jamil says anything that can make us money. Hey, that's going to be the good thing. Once you see this presentation, this is actually going to apply to any asset class. So really great about this course is that it's all about the picture on the price charts. So once you have this knowledge, you can really use it for anything. A lot of options too, futures. Good to see that. Personally, I like futures and stocks for the most part, but again, it can be incorporated with everything. Awesome. All right, question 2, what time frames do you trade? Very interested on this one. So do you guys stick with specific time frames that you look at? Are you more long-term swing trading, shorter term? What's the overall feel of the room? See, weekly, daily, 4 hour, I like it. 1 hour or lower, 5 minutes, 60, good mix as well. Let's see, 60 minutes, short term. Wow, what an amazing group. I love this. So it's, just so dynamic, and, everyone is trading different time frames. But again, tying back in that, it's all about the picture on the price chart. So whether you're, looking at daily charts, I see 240, 60, 15, 1. Great to see all that. Again, you're going to visualize what we're teaching you across all these different time frames. Nice, Christy, look at the daily and try to find a longer term position. See, Sean says whatever time frame the leg base is on. I like that answer, and that's going to be key, identifying the leg base group of candles. Eldon says shmoney. It's funny. Great, so great answers, everyone. Again, what we're going to be showcasing you guys is where, these pictures on the price charts, we're going to be able to see that on all different time frames. So really useful and important knowledge that we can take across everything. And then lastly, also very interested on this, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you with chart reading? So let's see. This one I'm most interested in. Jerry, good question. It does work on tick charts as well, share bar charts, all about the picture. See, 5, 8 to 9, 7, 5, 8, 5, 7, 8. Wow, Susan, you got 10, 5, 7. I see that we're in the 5 to 7 range, seems to be the general gist. See 9, 7. Jerry says 0. Hey, we're going to get that up, especially after, going through mastering the charts. The whole goal is to be able to increase your knowledge and your confidence with chart reading. That's, what this course is all about. So yeah, brutally honest. Lazaro says brutally honest too. Love that. We got to be honest. And, coming into this course, we want it to be very transparent, very engaging. We love when you guys ask questions, because frankly, if you guys have a question, someone else is thinking it too. So be, open. No question's a dumb question, honestly. So just, we're here to help you guys. That's the main point. That's fun. Yeah. Christy, if it were 10, I wouldn't need you. Just keeping it funny and light. So great. So again, love the honesty over there, but also keeping it light and just, understanding this is for you guys. So if it is a 5 right now, a 2, whatever your number is, the goal is to increase that by the end of the 3-day Mastering the Charts course. So as I was explaining, Mastering the Charts applies to any asset class, stocks, futures, Forex. We can even use options on top of these when we understand those high probability areas where price has those turning points in the markets. Also any time frame. So, you may stick to certain time frames, but keep in mind it applies to any time frame. So you could be looking at a 7-minute, you could be looking at a 62-minute. And then also, as someone mentioned, we could also apply it to tick charts as well. It's all about the picture on the price chart. When we see that picture and we understand it, that's going to help us identify where there's an imbalance of orders. Again, it's all about the picture on the price charts and training the eyes to see it. So how we're different, we expose key information that will have you seeing the charts like never before, very specific, focus on successful and unsuccessful trade setups, understanding what information may not be present in the unsuccessful trades that we can see in the successful ones. We'll teach you to understand why some trades fail. Again, just understanding why it fails is important so we don't keep doing it again and again. And then we provide step-by-step walkthroughs, very methodical and very objective, training the eyes to master the price charts. So our purpose to explain things in such a way that makes sense to you, want it to be personable. That's why I love your engagement and interaction, ask questions so we can help you guys. Build confidence in trading. Confidence is a big one. So if you're lacking confidence, it's maybe because we're not seeing the right picture on the price chart. So again, once we see that picture, your confidence is going to be elevated. Having a clear understanding of how to read the price charts, understanding why price turns in the markets is all about looking left on the price charts. And then understanding how and why price moves. So it's not random. Again, all about the picture on the price charts that we can see when we look left. Now, before I go into this part of Jeff looking left, I do want to showcase some of our trade setups. So how many of you guys were in our live trading room this week? Yeah, wow, we have a great group here, but how many of you were in on Tuesday in our live trading room? Good to see you all here, awesome. So not sure, how many of you guys took this long trade? This was one, I'm looking at the Nasdaq right now, but price came back down, found our buy territory and moved up. So if you want to be able to identify these turning points in the markets, this is exactly what we're going to be showcasing with you guys. And again, these were ones that we put out on Tuesday that hit this morning. So it's real time. We're implementing this in the live market so you can replicate it too. Here's the Nasdaq, for example. Again, price turned right there and moved to the upside. I'm going to showcase the S&P as well. If you guys were keeping an eye on it this morning, we could see that this was an area where price also was coming down, respected our buy territory and had a strong move up. So mastering the charts, all about doing a deeper dive into what information was present when we look left to be able to identify these high probability buy and sell opportunities. That was S&P, Nasdaq, looking at the Russell as well. So really great setups if you were keeping an eye on it this morning, but price just dipping in and then changing direction. So understanding why price changes direction is all about looking left on the price charts. And then lastly, going over to the Dow, not only does it apply to long trade setups, not sure if anyone also got the short trade that happened later in the day on Wednesday, but we can see once we identify that picture, this is where we're looking to identify those turning points. So Jeff's going to go into more detail on that now, just the importance of looking left and what that picture on the price chart looks like. All right, Jeff, passing it over to you.
All right, before you go, don't turn off your camera yet. You know, folks, you're looking at Kaitlyn as she's presenting all of these sell territories and buy territories and in the charts that she's seeing. Kaitlyn and I have been working closely together for about the last almost a year now. Okay. Kaitlyn was also a student from Online Trading Academy and learned the basics from that school on, you know, demand zones, supply zones, and things like that. Okay, the basic concepts of unfilled orders. And as she progressed through this, you're seeing such an amazing transformation in a person that was a student that is now calling these zones and now presenting to you. Okay, and this is what the mastering the charts is all about. It's not about a specific asset class. It's not about a specific trade or chart or stock. It's about reading the charts and understanding what the picture looks like on the price chart. And, you know, every time I watch Kaitlyn present and show the charts and what she's doing, I almost have to sit back and I'm just amazed at how she's transformed this and put it into the way she sees things. And this is what we hope for all of you. Okay. Now that I have a great partner, a great person that helps me with the trading and the education and putting together presentations like this, it's absolutely amazing what we can do for you. Okay. And I don't need to butter up Kaitlyn anymore, but I just want to express how much I appreciate her and what she's doing in the live trading room and also outside of that in building our company. Okay. And all right, we ready to continue?
We're ready. And yeah, all thanks to this course. I mean, we're not holding anything back. So everything we're going to be showcasing for you guys is what's helped me, as Jeff is, explaining. This is what took my trading to the next level. So we're putting it all out there for you guys that you can, learn and understand and build your confidence as well.
And that's exactly right. It's it is about us helping you see that picture on the price chart and building that out. Let's see, I just need to bring up my chat window. So I'm making sure that I'm monitoring everything here. And thank you so much for that opening, Kaitlyn. And let's go ahead and get started. Now, part of this transition and part of the learning and visualizing the price patterns, as Kaitlyn was describing, is to understand what a picture perfect trade looks like. We start looking at structures over here. So structures and patterns are that initial starting point. Now, our subconscious really picks up on these starting points and they give us a feel of what is right. But as we start going through visualizing the price patterns, the structures are part of that, where we see highs and lows and so on. Okay. And then we go right into the area. Okay. And the areas are of key importance because we need to know when we make a lower high or a higher low or a lower low, where do we specifically target to look for these areas? And then within the areas, we start looking for some very specific candle formations. And those candle formations will be found when we turn a time frame up or we turn a time frame down. Now, there is no specific time frame that is better than anything else. Okay, we all make conscious decisions based on what the subconscious picks up on, okay? But in order to support the subconscious emotions and the feelings, we need to be able to adjust that time frame down or up in order to get an exact picture each and every time. Again, there's no specific time frame that this is going to be dominant over another. It's not a weekly chart versus a daily chart. It's about finding this pattern. And we'll go through some examples, and we'll look at a few charts on some stocks and futures and some Forex that put a lot of these things together. Hi, Christy. The quarter hour odds enhancer, if we see the price intercepting within, yeah, that is for some intraday trading, okay? And during that intraday trading time frame, especially between 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, okay? And that time frame between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern is often when we see the banks and institutions are most actively engaged. So what we are presenting and what we're putting together here is a visualization of when the banks and institutions have leftover unfilled orders, okay? So it's that picture on the price chart that helps us make a decision. But also that picture on the price chart has a couple of different places where we can take some action and have a high probability outcome. And one of those outcomes is, where we see a breakout pattern. And then also where we see price coming back down to a buy territory or even going into a sell territory. What do all those formations, patterns look like? Now, throughout the mastering the charts, we start off with a process of training the eyes in order to see where these places are. And they start with the structures. Then they move right to the area. And then we start reducing the time frame in order to find a leg-based group of candles where we can identify and place a buy or sell entry line, and then we can have a stop line so we can always understand our risk involved in taking a trade before it happens. Now, starting that process, and Kaitlyn and I strongly believe in here that we don't need to hold things back from the students. We need to give them enough information in order to help them make a decision. Can we help them? Can we help them read the charts better? Can we help them visualize that picture? Now, so many techniques and so many people out there are teaching you, they're not teaching you how to get into a trade here, okay? They're teaching you too close to the right-hand side of the chart, okay? So when we use that term loosely, look left, okay? And looking left is where we can find the institutional activity before and see those leftover unfilled orders. As we start walking you through the process and training the eyes to see the picture on the price chart, we also know when to look for, what to look for on the left-hand side of the chart, and we can be better prepared to anticipate the right-hand side of the chart. Now, the study of the left-hand side of the chart is to understand that picture when there are leftover unfilled orders at that place. Hi, Durrett. Are you combining step-by-step tree formations? Well, we've kind of eliminated the formation part of this. The formation part has been and has left a huge distraction to a lot of people, okay? The formations that maybe some of you are familiar with, they don't give you all the information that you need to see on the price chart, okay? Now, the formation of the zone or the candles that create the zone must be sought after by turning the time frame down or turning the time frame up, okay? Now, formations are separate from what is a zone, okay? And we'll exploit that as we continue through our presentation here. So whenever we look at a price chart, in studying and understanding how to see the right picture, we need to look at hundreds of picture perfect trade setups that have already happened. As you're looking at this picture of Apple, example number 2, okay, Apple, we see a place on the price chart where we desired to have taken a trade. I would love to have gone short right when that tail was right at the peak, okay? So what information is to the left-hand side of the chart that is most consistently there when we get the desired results, okay? And here's another great example. As we're starting to walk through this process, we're showing you picture perfect trade setups that have already happened in order to train the eyes where to look. And you look at this and go, oh man, I wish I would have went long right at the low here, okay? Well, that low point right there, okay, as we start looking left and we start dissecting the information that's over to the left, and these are just some highlights, okay? This area over here is where the big banks and institutions had started to accumulate. And when they start to accumulate, you see prices in kind of that tight range, that tight area there, okay? And as we start to progress a little further, we start to notice, well, wait a minute, there's a little resistance area. Now that resistance area must be hit more than 3 times, as Kaitlyn has already demonstrated in a couple little slides there. And as we start to walk through, we start seeing that there's some additional odds enhancers to the left-hand side of the chart that are really helping us find the right location for where we could set up that buy territory or sell territory, okay? And as we start to draw out the zigzags are also helping us here to see that price dipped into that sell territory 3 times and then all of a sudden broke through. Okay, we can see that price hit some sellers, hit some sellers, and then just went right through that area. Now, there are some opportunities that we discussed in the live trading room where we could take that breakout trade, okay? As long as we have the information to the left-hand side of the chart, this works great, okay? It does look like an inverse head and shoulders, Jose, sorry. And you will see that many of your chart patterns that you may be familiar with, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, pennants, wedges, flags, you name it, okay? You will see that those are also present, okay? Now, our thinking behind this is that when everybody's thinking the same thing, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if we have the support and resistance girls coming in, we have the Fibonacci girls, we have the supply and demand boys, okay? I mean, look, if everybody's showing up to the party thinking the same thing, it's going to be a good party, okay? So we're not here to discount anybody's way of thinking or visualizing the price chart. What we're doing here at the Elite Trade is showing you that there are methods, that there are actual geometry and facts that go along with this, and helping you to dive deeper into a discipline of looking at that picture the right way and verifying the information to have a successful outcome and where you can manage your risk appropriately ahead of time. So, boy, I got on my soapbox there, didn't I? Let's take a quiz there. So why is it important to look left? Why is it important to look left, everybody? To visualize structures, shapes, B, to identify balance of orders, to identify a leg base. Oh, wow, you guys are way ahead of me. Yeah, the answer is D, all the above. So it's you know, it's not just that one thing that Charlie would say, okay? It's not the one thing that's going to change everything, okay? It's a combination of many different pieces of information there. And as Jose pointed out, you know, they look, you know, chart patterns are there, cup and handles, head and shoulders, and things like that. Yes, those are all facts, okay? Those pictures and formations are there, and we utilize them. And we utilize them in a very mechanical way to where we can show you that picture on a price chart. And yes, and that's exactly right, Christy. I'm glad you're here. You know, there's so many pictures on a price chart of a picture perfect trade that has already happened. And all we have to do is look left. And there's hundreds of thousands of picture perfect trades that have already happened. What are those characteristics? How do we develop the discipline? How do we take you in 3 days to understand where all those pictures are, and then support you in our live trading room as we continue to do that 3 days a week? It's a pretty amazing process. Okay, our job is not to get rich on education. Our job is to help you see the picture on the price chart. Another example of a successful trade, and looking left. Here we have a picture on the price chart where we desired to make a trade. Love that long move to the upside. That would have been a beautiful trade. So what made that beautiful trade? It wasn't what happened right here. It was what happened to the left-hand side of the chart. Now, if you look closely, you can see that there was a little resistance area, and then price blasted through it. Okay, and as you keep turning down the time frame, you see that there's, well, you don't even have to turn down the time frame. You can see that there's a pattern or a structure. See, before I even got to this point here, okay, you saw that there was a shape, there was a pattern. It made you feel good. Understanding why you feel good about a trade is seeing that geometry in it and going, oh, I've seen that pattern over and over again. All right, now how do I trade that pattern? Well, first we have to understand all the details in that pattern and around that pattern in order to enhance that. Here again, then we identify that buy territory. And as price came back into that, based on the information over here on the left-hand side of the chart, a desired trade was manifested. Now, concentrating on picture perfect trade setups that have already happened, okay, helps you focus on what you want to manifest, what you want to create. And these are very, very important parts of your desire to be a trader in the markets, or trader in securities, is that you know what that picture looks like for a successful trade. And when you desire to take a trade and the picture is not right, oh boy, it is a drama in your head. How many had some picking the bottoms today without having a good entry in place, and you were emotional? Hey guy, how are you? Good to see you here. All right, another successful trade here. We desire to take this trade right up here. So where do we find the information to get into the trade? Well, we look left. And as we look left, we start learning and teaching ourselves about patterns, about structures. And the geometry is absolutely fascinating once you understand where to draw the geometry and confirm it. Here we identified the zone, price dipped into the zone, and there we had a successful trade. So walk with me through this, identifying a structure. Oh, and notice some structures have a higher low and some structures will have a lower low. And as we see that particular structure, we then know where to look for the opportunity or the areas. Okay, so identify the structure where we have a slight higher low, and then identify the areas. As Kaitlyn pointed out, we had some of the wick over wick type areas. Okay, you can see right here a wick over wick, and we can see that we have basically price rallying up, base sideways, rallied. Okay, so we look in these areas, and these areas are very common when we make a higher low. And then we have to adjust the time frame down or up in order to get that picture the right way. Let's see, I'm sorry. I must have missed your question earlier, Jeff. Okay, so if you can post it again, I know Kaitlyn's watching, so if she might be able to answer that question for you. Okay. All right, so again, step one, identify the structure, identify the areas, and then identify by turning the time frame down or up in order to find the leg base group of candles. And once we found that leg base, see, as we turn the time frame down, we didn't find it in the lower area. We found it right here, where we had a leg in, a base candle, leg out, followed by another base candle. And here's that picture of that, leg base, okay? And here we can see we had a leg candle. Simply the body is greater than 50% of the range, followed by a base. We had 3 base candles here. And we can have up to, how many candles can we have between the, how many base candles can we have between the leg in and leg out? Here we go, Ben. 64, no, not 64. Yeah, we can have 1 to 5. Okay, so this was 3 base candles here. Okay, then we had a leg out candle. Again, the body greater than 50% of the range is what we call a leg candle. Body less than 50% of the range is what we call a base candle. Okay, and then the base candle that follows the leg out candle is where we place the entry line, and our stop line goes at the lowest wick, tail, or shadow of the entire leg in, base, and leg out. Okay. And as we, and this is an important part, you know, and we have to wait for the trade. Okay, we have to wait for price to return, just like the big banks and institutions. Okay, and as the big banks and institutions are waiting for their unfilled orders, price returns to that area. This is where we decide to go long. Okay, and then we manage our risk, of course, ahead of time. And based on the candle patterns here, also, just as a side note, you'll notice that there's a leg candle that's leaving the entry line. Okay, it's bigger than the leg candle inside the buy territory. Now, often when that happens, price goes deeper into the zone. And then we call that, we use a zone entry on that, okay? Which also can reduce the amount of risk that we have on a trade and increase the potential profit. And again, structures. Training the eyes and putting the structures and the patterns together is a very big part of this. How about a short setup? Okay, again, identify the structure. In this structure, we made a lower high and we made a lower low. So now the trend has changed, correct? How many have already started to notice this area over here? How many have seen that? Yes, okay. All right, so as we identify the structure, we made a lower high and a lower low. We identify the areas. Now we're looking for those wick over wick, or the where price kind of drops and then a base and drops. Okay, so we have a couple of areas that we're looking at. Again, structure first, and then identifying the area. Now, sometimes you'll see that, many times you'll see the structure first, and then you'll have to adjust the time frame down or up just slightly in order to see the wick over wick areas. Don't be afraid of changing the time frame. Even changing it 1 minute at a time will make a big difference. The picture on the price chart is what we're after and what we're looking for. Now, to identify the leg base in these areas within a structure, we would need to adjust the time frame down. So adjust the time frame to get more detail, whether you're going to 19-minute, 18-minute, or whatever. And this one was a 16-minute chart where we found the leg, 3 base candles, a leg out, and another base. Okay. Now, these pictures are very consistent when we have a great trading opportunity. But on many price charts and many softwares out there, we see that time frames can be random and time frames can be given to us, and we get comfortable using 60, 30, 25 because that's socially accepted. Okay. But there's nothing wrong with using a 4-minute, an 8-minute, a 12-minute, a 16-minute chart. And the right picture will then help you manage your risk. It will also help you assess your potential reward as well. All right, you guys ready for another quiz? Thanks for answering that question, Kaitlyn. All right, quiz time. Question number 1. True or false? Structure can help us identify a specific location for buy and sell opportunities. All right, we got a lot of truths. Okay, now the structure does help us. Okay. Seeing the structure on the price chart many times over and over again helps us visualize the potential outcome of that trade. Now, again, we're talking about the left-hand side of the chart. Okay. Understanding the left-hand side of the chart and seeing picture perfect trades that have already happened conditions a trader to then visualize the right-hand side of the chart with a high degree of accuracy. See, it's no mistake that Kaitlyn was showing you those zones that we had picked, those buy territories and sell territories from our live trading room, and that they were hitting. If you look to the left, you will see that all the information is there. Okay. It's a very disciplined, very focused way of zoning in to a very specific trade there. Question number 2. If I cannot locate the leg-based group of candles within a structure on a 10-minute time frame, what could I do? Yeah, we got 9 more time frames down. Yeah, adjust the time frame. Great. Adjust the time frame up or down till I can locate it. If it's not there, it's somebody else's trade. Okay. So again, this is some of the things that you may need in your trade-in is a very disciplined, focused way of seeing the right picture. Okay. And putting those pieces together to help you visualize the outcome of a successful trade. Wanted to slam dunk that basketball and or hit that golf ball right down the fairway. You visualize that. You watch somebody that can do it. Okay. And that's what Kaitlyn and I have done here with the mastering the charts, is we're putting a lot of these pieces together to help you visualize what does a perfect trade look like. And then when price returns to that area, then we're looking for a way to manage our risk ahead of time and also see where we can enter the trade and our potential profit to see if it's good enough for us to take the trade. All right. So, hey, Kate, did I miss any questions along the way? I know I got on my soapbox and Gautam, yes, we do talk about trend. Not so much about curve. Curve is a specific term that was used, is used by Online Trading Academy. Okay, but we do assess all of the higher time frame directions that the market is moving. And in every one of our live trading rooms, Kaitlyn always starts off with a large time frame, and she starts working. She needs to see that direction, that trend. Very disciplined. Okay, so I'll take just a couple of minutes as I come back out. There are some pictures you may have seen that I've been posting on Twitter.
Hey,
and,
Jeff, real quick, I just saw a couple people, I think, were typing their questions in. If you want to address some of them first.
Okay.
Thanks.
Is there a couple you want to address? I'm coming back up and looking at them. If you've got a couple first, then just pop on in. Can you talk about the program and what comes with it? Janet, yes, Kaitlyn will be covering that in her next session. Let's see, missed any questions. The boot camp is, and the difference between the class and the boot camp is kind of a surface view. It does get you in the right area. It does give you a lot of detail on what we cover. Okay. What Kaitlyn and I are going to be doing in this class is giving you exercises and training for 3 days. And on the third day, we will be in the live markets. Now, this is not a recommendation, but we have had testimony from many students that have covered the tuition in just a couple of trades. Now, that's one of the questions I ask in our live trading room all the time is that, all right, who paid for the tuition or who paid for the live trading room today? And so many of them they do it in one day, okay? So Kaitlyn and I have a mission statement, a mission that, you know, we're keeping our costs really low at this point, simply to help the students use the market to pay for what they want, okay? And, you know, we're working hard to help you guys see that and visualize that. And often many of our students do cover that cost. So the third day is a lot of lessons, but the first part of the day will be more of the live trading and monitoring trades throughout that session. Christy says, an OTA student have all this down, yet I spend too much time on my own head. Yes, Christy, I think being around people that, you know, being around that community is very important of like-minded people, okay? And that community of people that think and help you stay on the right side of things is also important. We do have a Discord group that I jump into usually about at least once a week on a Thursday or Friday, and jump in to trade with some of the students, okay? Now, we don't charge anything for the Discord group. That's generally student run, and it has been a very good session for some of you just to kind of express things. Daniel has been helping us out with that and doing a fantastic job of just following the rules, okay, and trading himself. Let's see, what if I missed, Kaitlyn? Jack, I do not work, or I'm not doing any more subcontract work for Online Trading Academy. Does making a lower low? Well, that is covered in our class. Now, making a lower low does not change what we're looking for. It just helps you pinpoint the entry more close to the pivot point. We will be covering some Fibonacci measurements in order to help you with that geometry, Jason. Yeah, and also some of that. It is in the mastering the charts. Just that geometry helps a lot of people, but not everybody is mathematic inclined. Okay, so I don't spend a lot of time on that. We will have some other classes where we have where we spend about 90 minutes a session. And these are things that are in the works coming up, okay, where we can do a 90-minute session just to help you learn more about the Fibonacci and how to use that. Sean says, hi, Sean. We have taken the previous Training the Eyes course. Would you recommend the live? Oh, 100%, Sean. Yeah, the nice thing about the live trading room is it's not just me. Okay, it's not just one instructor. It's, you know, Kaitlyn's influence, Kaitlyn's visualizing, and her extreme discipline on trend, okay, keeps us all in line, okay, and it's a unique experience. So I recommend that to all of you. Hi, Daniel. Good to see you in here. Yeah, Daniel's had some really great trades this week, so he's been doing the happy dance kind of nonstop. Today was a little rough, but we did get price moving up in that. It looks like Kaitlyn, we got caught up on those things. So let's see, how am I running on time? Do I need to step off and let you?
No, you're good, Jeff.
Okay. So a couple of things, yeah, just pop in when I need to. I kind of overlooked my time to cut off. These are the Twitter posts that I've been putting out there over the last several days here. And a couple of things that I do want to keep in mind, and you can see that I've been doing this for quite some time. is, where are we at here? We got the 3. Is that we have been mapping out the right side of the chart and looking at where places where price will change direction. Now, all of this is possible by using the different techniques that we are showing and showcasing here today. Okay. So if you want more, you can go back and look on the Twitter and you can see that the different areas of where price is changing here. Okay. Is that we're still looking, and now I've also included some Fibonacci time, okay, using the valley to the valley and anticipating what day price should arrive up into this area. And on that day, I expect price to change direction, okay? Christy, we do cover Fibonacci extensions and retracements, but more so in the mastering the charts, it's about training the eyes and helping you see that picture on the price chart. I know a lot of us, the engineer type, we do need to see those structures and the patterns, the 88.6, and then our forecasting where we'll look for the next potential move, not only in price, we have a price axis over here, but also in time, which can help us manage expectations. And Kaitlyn was asking, you know, who's trading, what products are you trading, and so on. Okay. I saw that there were some futures and I saw there were option traders. Well, if you knew that price was going to change direction on the 15th, could you then be prepared ahead of time to help hedge and manage that risk? Okay. Yes, and you can. All right, so I'm going to jump out and I'm going to start with the daily chart, and then I just got a couple of little pictures on the price chart that I went through and just kind of looked for. Okay. And now we have a couple more that are setting up. But here was one great example of structure and pattern. Okay. Notice we have a slight higher low. And if we measure from the low to the high right here, we see the price came right back down, made a higher low than the prior low, and just came down to that 88.6 and moved right back up. Okay. And then if you take your measuring tape and flip it around, you'll see that the geometry, as we start looking for why price stopped here, we could correlate that with a sell territory, but we could also correlate that with one of those Fibonacci extensions. As we go out to the 1618 or 127 extension, we see the price came right up into those ranges. Okay. Now we use Fibonacci extensions and retracements only as an additional confirmation. Okay. Only as an additional confirmation. Here we have something that's working right now, Costco. Okay. We can see we have a slight higher low than the prior low, and we can start digging into that picture by reducing the time frame. Oh, we didn't have the smaller time frames on that. Let's skip to a couple of other charts here. I'll come back out to the daily. All right, another nice little chart pattern. Okay, notice how price rallied up and then came back down and found that wick over wick area there and gave us another nice little run. Now, this is not specific to any time frame. Okay, it's specific to the picture on the price chart. Okay, I had one over here. I'm not sure if I marked it. Oh, yes. I think this one was partially underway. Notice we had a slight higher low, okay, than the prior low. And as we bring out the measuring tape on that, we can see that this also measures out right to that 88.6% retrenchment. Okay. And then that would point us in the area of where to identify the leg base group of candles. Now notice I jump quickly down to a 30-minute chart. And as I start to go a little smaller in time frame, make sure I have enough time on here. And I'm also going to include the little doji tool because I'm using TradeStation at the moment. And as I'm using that doji tool, each one of these pictures on the price chart, okay, you're changing it 1 minute at a time, but as we're starting to see the picture change. Now, for me, it is important to see that picture on the price chart and confirm that leg base group of candles is there. Okay, I'm going to drop down just a little bit faster here. This is a new computer, so I haven't got all my time frames locked in. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're getting close. 19-minute. 17. And as we keep reducing the time frame, poetry. Yeah, as we keep reducing the time frame, we're looking for that specific group of candles. And it doesn't matter what time frame that we get down to. Boy, this make me work on this one. Now we know it's there. 120, 112. Yeah, I just had a computer that went belly up on me. So not everything is in the right category. So let's drop down 10-minute. There we go. 10-minute might have gotten a little small. We do have a leg base group of candles, right? Little bit lower, okay? But the point that we're making here is that there are sometimes we may have made the trade and sometimes we might have missed it by just a little bit, okay? We use all the information on the price chart. Go back up a little higher. Oh, was just a little higher time frame. There we go. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, Michael, we you know, Kaitlyn has been so thorough in her trading plan and in the way that she puts things together. I think you'll find that the discipline is absolutely amazing. Now, the only challenge is, can you follow the rules? And we can follow the rules as long as we understand why and how they're all put together. Okay. How many would somebody give me a chart to look at? We'll find another price pattern. And then we'll flip it back over to Kaitlyn here in just a moment. MCL. And on the MCL, what time frame, Chris? Oh, that's a crude oil. Okay. We're on the J contract. $60-minute. Wow, you're making me work for that one. 500 tick. Yeah, I like that, Gallo. Yeah, the 500 tick has been really helpful because of such big swings on this particular product. So what we're looking for is kind of that basic picture, okay? And the basic structure of pattern over here, we have where we had a strong move down. Which made a higher low than the prior low, okay? So these are structures and patterns that we're looking for. And here we had that big drop yesterday, price came down into that range. There was a small leg base over here. Janet, just to clarify that. When we're using the doji tool, the inputs, I keep mine at 49%, and then I just count Ochrym bars as 5. Okay, good question. I just want to make sure that that base candle, where I have a blue dot on it, is less than 50% of the range of the candle. Okay, so I go with 59 there. Okay. All right, let's see. We got platinum. Somebody looking for platinum. Oh, are you ready to jump back in, Kaitlyn?
You want to wrap up with platinum?
Yeah, let's bring that one up there. That one did have some good setups on it earlier this week, but it's still been coming down a little bit lower on the 60-minute chart. Now, one of the things that I have found to be more helpful, okay, is to look for these areas of resistance and support. Okay, and resistance and support is going to be defined a little bit more. Kaitlyn will take a little bit of time to share with you on that. Okay, but where we find our zones most often, okay, here we have a leg base on a 60-minute chart for platinum, and price has now respected that area. We anticipated it would go a little deeper into the zone as well. Okay. Now, please don't take this as a trade recommendation. That's not what this is all about. Okay. And this is about showing the picture on the price chart. Okay. And here we're right there at that 88.6% retracement. We do see that we have a leg base group of candles. Should price start to break this area, then we have another one that is down a little bit lower. Okay. Now, each time we have the 3 touches and the move out takes out all that, those field orders. Okay. Then we want to use that area as an opportunity. Okay. That there's potentially leftover unfilled orders. Okay. All right. Having said that, I got to be careful I don't jump into teaching mode here. We'll do teaching mode a little bit later. So I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Awesome job, Jeff. Yeah, let's jump into, one of the topics that we're going to be incorporating into the new Mastering the Charts. I think someone mentioned what the difference is between training the eyes and mastering the charts, but we've really enhanced that course. We've added so much more content based on your feedback. So just really excited to be showcasing all these new learning techniques to help you guys see the charts so much more clearly. So this one, you can see I have understanding unsuccessful trades and why it's good to learn from past mistakes. If we're making mistakes with trading, the main thing is that we can make them, but we just shouldn't be making them over and over again. Really need to understand, what the differences are between a successful trade and an unsuccessful, and what characteristics may or may not be there. So the purpose is to visualize past mistakes that went uncorrected and be able to learn a different way of looking at the price charts. I know I'm guilty of this in the past, making the same mistakes over and over again and not understanding why. I don't know how many of you guys have been there, like as far as, making unsuccessful trades, but as long as we correct them and learn from them, it's going to help us in the long run. There are common mistakes that people make that we will address and show you how to become more methodical, rule-based, specific, and objective. So again, step-by-step processes to help you stay focused on what those successful trade looks like, so we're not guilty of doing the unsuccessful ones as much. We'll be implementing this by showing you a step-by-step process that focuses on training the eyes to visualize these price patterns. All right, so example one, I want you guys to answer in the chat. Is this a place that you would normally choose to sell at, looking at the left-hand side of the chart? So is this a good place to sell? Are we gonna short here, anticipating price to go down? Or is it not a good place to sell? What do you guys think? And this is important because if we see or don't see certain information, we should be able to identify, you know, that's a good trade or that's not a high probability trade. It's a little bit mixed. So this is what's good about mastering the charts. Again, it's going to be super rule-based, super specific. So we'll all be saying the exact same things. Randy, good job. And Summer, good to see you here. Yep, more of a pivot point. So you guys are awesome with that. So looking left, we see this is where Facebook previously had a strong move down. However, we can see that this trade failed. So what's missing here as far as why we shouldn't have shorted here? Well, the important information is what Jeff was explaining and looking to the left-hand side of the chart. This is where the key information is that's going to give us more confidence in our trade setups. So how many of you, and again, this is something that's happened to me before, would have been stopped out just for price to end up going in your direction after? Plenty of times where I pick a good trade, but then I get stopped out and I'm like, how do the institutions know where my stops are? But oftentimes, if we just look a little bit to the left, this is where the key information is. So if that's been you, understanding looking to the left is going to be huge with not doing that, or less likely moving forward. So we can see when we look to the left, we've got our leg-based group of candles, which we're going to be teaching in more detail in mastering the charts. We've got 3 touches, another good odds enhancer, and we start to see the structure as well appear with this trade setup. Now, some of you guys nailed it, and I hadn't even mentioned that, but this is actually going to be a pivot point versus a sell territory. And this is one thing that we're adding to formally training the eyes, is understanding the difference between a pivot point versus a buy and sell territory. Pivot points are going to be more elevated risk versus when we qualify our buy and sell territories, they're going to be higher probability. Yeah, and Christy, 12-minute chart, I would zooming out, definitely great as far as looking at trend, looking at, you know, where the institutions are really moving price. So always looking at the higher time frames is a good odds enhancer. Example 2, let's see. So we're looking at Nasdaq futures. Is this a good place to buy? So what do you guys think? Are we going to be buying here, anticipating price to go up, or are we going to pass on this trade? What do you guys think? I see mostly no's, pass. Summer, you're nailing it. No breakout. Christy too. Great job. Price hasn't broken up. Great. Love seeing the different answers. So when we're looking here, we do see that this is where Nasdaq previously had a strong move up. So some of you may have been, you know, eager to jump in and buy here. But notice that this trade failed and moved to the downside. So why did it fail, and what information is missing from this trade setup is that we gotta be looking left. When we look left, we see that there's no leg-based group of candles. We don't have the 3 touches. Also, another thing that we're gonna be going into more detail is trend. You know, this is huge, and I love to trade with the trend. So in this case, we can see when we look at our pivot points, the trend is actually to the downside. So if we're looking at a downtrend, choosing bottoms and picking buying opportunities, going to be a little bit more elevated risk. Overall, trading with the trend is going to be stacking the odds in our favor. And then as mentioned before, this is also a pivot point, not a place to buy because of it's missing a lot of that criteria. So I'm going to go into a little bit more just showcasing training the eyes is now mastering the charts. You know, again, we're jam-packing this course with so much more information. So what to expect in mastering the charts. Once you complete this course, you'll have a plan going forward on how and when to execute trades. So understanding where to look within structures. I know some of you mentioned that as far as if it makes a higher low or a lower low, does that change where we're looking? And the answer is yes. So we're going to be looking at those different structures to identify exactly where we're going to be looking within those structures. Also looking at different types of structures, some have reversal patterns, some have trending patterns. So understanding the difference can help us identify those areas. The importance of wick over wick, we haven't even had time to really touch on that, but this is going to be huge. Wick over wicks give you a ton of information that when we zoom into the smaller time frames can give us a lot of detail. Fractals, how many of you guys know fractals, know the word, or seen pictures and pictures? One of my favorites, honestly. You guys do? Excellent. Yeah, fractals are cool because what we're going to be showing you is that, again, the pictures on the price charts, we can see them on different time frames. So on a higher time frame, we may see a certain structure. On the smaller time frames, when we zoom in, we start to see more structures appear. So when we can start to see these different patterns on different time frames, it gives us a better picture of where those high probability buy and sell opportunities are at. So let's see, adjusting time frame to visualize price patterns, super important. So again, we shouldn't be sticking to set time frames, because if we are, we're missing out on a lot of the information that we can see when we turn the time frame down a little bit or turn the time frame up a bit. So adjusting a time frame is like adjusting a dial to get more of that information. If we turn the time frame up, we see less candles and more detail, versus if we go down in time frame, we see more candles and more detail. Trading with the trend, as I mentioned, we want to be trading with it to stack the odds in our favor. Uptrend, looking for buying opportunities. Downtrend, looking for more short opportunities. Understanding consolidating price action. I saw some comments as well asking about the basing candles, which is very important as well. So when we see basing action or consolidation, a lot of information in that group of candles as well, that when we adjust the time frame will start to appear. Different variations of leg base, again, seeing those different pictures on the price charts, and then also understanding active versus pending territories. So we may see that leg base group of candles, but we need to qualify it in order for it to be an active zone. Sometimes we may have pending leg base group of candles, in which case it's going to be elevated risk. So this is what you're going to be expecting in the main event. How we'll master the charts, we'll showcase and use different time frames and illustrate how that changes the picture on the price charts. So if you are someone who gets lost in different time frames, you know, you're turning the time frame up or down and you start to get confused of where you're at, we're going to be honing in on that to help you get in the right location. Understanding why price changes direction. This is huge. Once you understand why, you build your confidence of what you're looking for. Understanding filled versus unfilled orders and how that causes price to move. Structures, areas within structures, and the leg base group of candles. And then identifying the specific group of candles where price often changes direction. The Elite Trade's own leg base. So if you're also new to this and new to the Elite Trade, we'll show you the exact specifications we look for, as well as some different variations of the leg base. See, are you still using the 2 candle leg base? We'll go into that as well, Chris. Yeah. And then main thing, putting the pieces together to be able to visualize high probability buy and sell opportunities. You know, a lot of people I feel like are missing pieces of the puzzle, and they feel like maybe how they've been taught previously, they're still confused and they're still frustrated. So we want to clarify everything, answer all your questions, and really put the pieces of the puzzle together. So some of the things that you can expect in mastering the charts, we're going to be exposing the wick over wick. So we can see here is where we have that wick over wick. This is going to provide key information as far as why price changed direction here. If we dig inside the wick over wick, we can see more details appear. So this is going to be key as far as understanding what information is within these different pictures and price patterns to give us a better idea of where to buy and sell at. So understanding why price change direction here, Wick over Wick is going to be something we're going into a lot more detail in mastering the charts. Also types of structures and where to look. This was another thing that I think you guys mentioned as far as if we're making a higher high or a lower high. This is going to give us a clue as far as where we should be looking for various price patterns. So reversal versus trending, going to be looking in different areas. Also seeing pictures and pictures with fractals, as I mentioned, one of my personal favorites. We can see an example here, oil on an 8-minute time frame. We see this consolidation here, price basing, and it moved up on the 8-minute. But when we adjust the time frame down to a 2-minute, we start to see a lot more detail appear. So we're going to be going into, again, if you get confused or lost on the different time frames as you're adjusting them, we're going to showcase you how we can see different pictures as we adjust the time frame up and down. So we can see here as we went down in time frame, we've got 3 touches. We have a wick over wick. We have leg base, all different pictures that we're going to be showcasing in mastering the charts. But you wouldn't have seen this if you didn't know how to adjust the time frame from this image over here. Now, I can't believe our 90 minutes is almost up, but this is something that I do want to ask you guys. So if any of this has pertained to you or if any of it resonates with you, feel free to put that in the comments. So are you the type of person where time frames are challenging for you? Have you ever been impulsive, impatient, or undisciplined with getting in and getting out of trades? Are you someone who gets caught up in the smaller time frames and forgets to look at the bigger pictures and the bigger time frames? How about, are you struggling to be confident in your zones? Do you understand what you're looking for and what information you should be using to trade versus are you lacking that confidence? I see a lot of yeses. Okay, big one here. Do you struggle with discipline and think that you need to trade every day? This one I've seen time and time again. So you're not alone if this is yes for you, but so many people seem to think they need to trade every single day to be a good trader, which is not the case at all. It's all about finding, the right pictures on the price charts. So this one's going to be huge. Ed, really? Yeah, we don't need to trade every day. So again, looking all about the picture on the price charts. How about this one? Also another big one that I see a lot, getting in and out of trades too soon. I would say these two are the top ones that I see a lot. Are you getting in too soon? Are you getting out too soon? Yeah, guilty. Yeah, been there. Understanding, these are all common. How about struggling with structures, shapes, and patterns? Now, I want to clarify that all of these points aren't just new traders coming in. I mean, how many of you guys have been trading for years? Or type it in the chat. How long have you guys been learning, going through education? How long have you guys been doing this for? It's important to know that, people who, still struggle, it's not just the new traders, it's people who get education elsewhere, and they still find that there's pieces of the puzzle that are missing. What we want to do is show you the key, which is all about training your eyes to visualize the patterns on the price chart. Once you know what to look for and train your eyes to see these pictures, you're going to be so much more confident. You're going to see the pictures on the price chart more clearly and understand where those high probability buy and sell opportunities are at. So just a couple what our students say about our previous seminars. Picked a few that I feel like really, resonated with us and just, really great feedback. Natalie said she added about 30% of her knowledge and filled up some gaps. This is huge. We want to be able to, get you guys to learn more and, just build your confidence and build your knowledge base. So you're choosing higher probability buy and sell opportunities. This one, I see Ed's in the room, forming habits to become a more consistent winner. That's what you're going to get in mastering the charts, is understanding consistency, sticking with certain rules, being very specific and objective to build that consistency. When we have that plan in place and we stick to it, and we're very, again, objective and walking through those steps, you'll know what to look for. Also, John W., we took this feedback and wanted to implement it. Love the questions, the quizzes, and interaction. You can see from this session, we love to do that for you guys. We want you guys engaged, asking questions, and giving us that interaction so we can really help you guys. So mastering the charts is going to be filled with that. And then John M. as well, what he found usable is the chart reading and how to look to the left. You can see that's very key as far as what we use to find our high probability trades at. So I know a couple people were asking what they're going to get in the 3 days. If you scan here and you haven't signed up yet, you can scan the barcode. I'll also paste it in the chat. You're going to get a ton of content with mastering the charts. You're going to be getting the step-by-step walkthroughs. You're going to be getting more quizzes, more Q&A. It's going to be 3 full days from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Also going to be getting recordings after the sessions. We're going to be giving you guys homework that you can submit back in, get feedback on that. And also we're giving you guys handouts as well, so you can take that home and really start to implement everything. So again, if you're, you feel like this course is for you, we really want to put the pieces together for all of you, answer your questions. You're going to be getting a ton of information and content in these 3 days. So really hope to see you all there. If you haven't signed up yet, we're getting a lot of good feedback from you guys. Again, scanning the barcode, and I'll also put it in the chat for you guys. Jeff, what did I miss?
Natalie just posted a nice little comment on that, if you want to address that.
Let's see. Hey, Natalie. After spending so much money with OTA, I was still in the dark and many pieces were missing big time. Kept spending more money on more courses and taught myself what I was missing with OTA. That's the thing is, Jeff, are you going to say something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like people, so many people come to us and they feel like they're not getting all the information they need, that they've been withheld information, they're not taught everything, they're implementing, and these are well-educated people that come to us that are still confused, they're still frustrated, and it's because they haven't really understood how to train their eyes to see the price pattern. So, we love having new traders, but we also like people who are still struggling that felt like they weren't getting the full picture. We want to put the pieces of the puzzle together for you guys.
Yeah, there are many pieces, as Kaitlyn was describing earlier about the 3 touches and looking left and those pictures on the price chart. Those are amazing pictures that we need to discover, as using those as additional odds enhancers to choose which trades are going to be producing money versus trades that are not producing money. Also providing the live trading room where we can demonstrate that live for everybody. Look, we put our money on the line as well. Some days we're in simulator and some days we're in the live trading. Most of our instruction is about teaching people how to visualize and see where there are potentially unfilled orders, and also remaining calm while a trade may be running, okay? But how do we manage that trade? How do we protect it? How do we capitalize on it? I noticed there's a lot of folks in the room. We had well over 100 people come into the room today, and you all are looking for something, okay? What Kaitlyn and I have put together, and the dynamics of the team of Kaitlyn going through the process and learning all of these things. I'm amazed at her discipline, at her focus, and what she does produce. And as you saw, she was demonstrating some of the trades that we had set up, or levels that we had set up, buy territories. There you go, buy territories and sell territories that were set up well in advance. Now, the tricky part is waiting, okay? And they did come there and they did produce a desired result. How do we get you folks to that point? Okay, and that's what this is all about. Now, I've been able to help Kaitlyn get to this point, and Kaitlyn is a beautiful example of what we have done in producing this content all together. Okay, now Kaitlyn's point of view and my point of view, because right now that my point of view is, I'm kind of the old dog in the pits, okay? And Kaitlyn's the new one, okay? And putting that together is such a dynamics that new students need to see over and over again, that they can accomplish this, okay? That they can manage risk and they could look for those potential profits, How are we doing with the questions? Looks like we got quite a few of them.
Yeah, so I saw someone asked if the date is a problem, will the course be recorded for purchase for review on your own time? Yes, so we are getting that added to our website. So keep an eye on that. That will be on the website. You'll get all the recordings, all the handouts that we give, all the content as well. So if you can't attend it on the dates, it will be available on our website. And then, hey, Ed, what is the last day a person can sign up for the class? So the class, yeah, amazing. It's next weekend. So the last day to sign up, I would say Friday, Friday night, because the class is going to be Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern time, goes from 9 a.m. Eastern time to 4 p.m. Eastern time. We do give you guys a 1-hour break in the middle, but that's going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all day long, doing a deeper dive into all this. And, just seeing so many questions you guys have, we're going to be answering all of them. So if you still have questions and you want more of that detail, we're going to be spending those 3 days to teach you all this, exactly what we see, put the pieces together, and Monday, with the live markets, going to really be implementing it for you.
And that purpose of having the live markets and the live trading is so that you can recover the amount that you paid for tuition, okay? Now, that's a pretty bold statement, okay? And we're putting ourselves on the line that we understand in what we teach and what we have out there is that if you are ready to take trades, that you can recover the amount that you're going to pay for tuition, okay? And it might not be in one trade, it might be in 2 or 3 trades, okay? Our premise here is let the markets pay for what you want, okay? If you want that new car, you want that new house, okay, how are we going to construct that in order to let the market give you the money to accomplish your goal, okay? Now, of course, we're not making any claims that you will make everything back, okay? I don't control the way your finger clicks on a button, okay? and some people click it too many times, okay? But I can show you that we will have many successful trades, many successful trade setups, not only in the course on the last day on Monday, but we will also be looking going forward in the live trading room.
Yeah, and again, bringing up these charts, like just showcasing that you guys can learn this too. And it's not random. It's what we're teaching you is what Jeff and I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in our live trading room to give you guys, here's where we're buying, here's where we're selling, and just showing you how these trades pan out is what we're going to be teaching you guys to do so you can learn it as well and implement it on futures, on stocks, on Forex, any time frame you guys look at. It's all about the picture on the price charts.
I love all the comments. Everybody's becoming pretty active. It's look, this is an amazing process. It's a transformation in seeing where there are potentially unfilled orders, okay? All of these charts, all these pictures that Kaitlyn's sharing with you right now were shared in our live trading room on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, okay? Now, there are some traders like myself that like short-term trades, and there are some traders that like longer-term trades, okay? That the dynamics is this picture fits into any style of trading. It is not about a specific asset class. It is about seeing the right picture on the price chart. And that right picture has developed into just an amazing way of finding and managing risk on a trade and then looking for some good potential profits.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You did great today with the interaction. Love seeing all that. This is for you guys. And again, we're being fully transparent. We want you guys to see the pictures on the price charts like Jeff and I do and, implement it in the live market. So Really looking forward to the 3 days with you guys. Again, it's going to be next weekend. So if you haven't signed up, I'm going to post it again in the chat, or if you want to scan it with your phone, you can also use the barcode here.
Amazing job, Miss Kate. You always do great.
You too, Jeff. Any other questions we missed? I think we're good. If you do have any questions, feel free to email us at theelitetrade@gmail.com. But we look forward to seeing you all there. Really exciting course in store.
It'll be a great course and a great class for everybody, beginning or advanced.
Exactly, everyone. If you've been trading for a long time, you know, if you're still missing some of those pieces, if you're still confused, this is for you guys too, because understand the frustration. We want to put those pieces together for you guys and answer all your questions so you have those aha moments and it really makes sense for you guys.
Well, should we call it a wrap?
I think so. Thank you guys so much for coming, and make sure to sign up if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys all next weekend.
And also on the 17th, we do have one more of these Trading Your Eyes promotions that we're coming out. So if you have friends or family that you want to watch and see if this is a good fit for them, please have them check it out. We will also be posting this on the YouTube so that everybody can kind of visualize it and see if this is something that fits what they need. Okay. And this is a very unique, it's a very disciplined and focused way of looking at trading. And we're here to support you. So have a great evening, everybody. And great job, Kaitlyn. And everybody have a wonderful night.
You too. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you all next weekend. Bye, everyone.